So fresh off a victory, what happens the night of a win? You got some experience with this now. You guys are starting to rack up the W's. What do you do the night of a win?
That was a tough one. I told Max when we won, I'm like, next time you're going to win, tell me. Because I was flying out of a different airport, had to drop my rental car off. I was 30 minutes from him. By the time I got to my hotel at 9:30, they were already at dinner, like eating. And I'm like, dude, I got a 5 a.m. flight. We'll party in Scottsdale. So luckily, we live close. We live a mile away, and we spent 2 nights out when we got back to Scottsdale. It's always nice winning after, having a week off after you win, because you can actually decompress, celebrate, back to the grind. So that was nice, and we had a couple nights out in Scottsdale.
How does your job change when you're in contention at a PGA Tour event? Does your decision-making change? Do you get a sense of what's going on with your player? Are the risk elements different at all when you're in contention?
Yeah, the thing is, when you're in contention, he's hitting it so well. So maybe you're just trying to get him to not be aggressive sometimes. But I mean, when he's playing good and he's hitting it good, I would say we're pretty aggressive. It doesn't change much. It's more like when he's a little bit off that it's hard. But when he's seeing the line, when he's driving it well or ironing it well, it's pretty easy. I'm like, hey, fairway's there, middle of the fairway, hit it there, hit it on the green, make the putt. I mean, it's pretty easy. There's times where, adrenaline kicks in, but other than that, it's pretty easy.
What part of your job is also on the mental side, right? When you're coming down the stretch of a tournament, what kind of things are you saying that are not specific shot advice?
That's kind of the art of caddying and knowing your player, because Max is fairly quiet when he's playing good. He talks a little bit, but he's pretty quiet. And then there's times, the hard part is we're such good friends that we talk every day and we know so much about each other. So you kind of got to bring up some things. There's been times where we've been in the lead and Saturday night, I'll go just looking for something to talk about on the golf course, because you got to trick your mind. I got to have him not think about golf. So I'll bring up something to do with sports or a movie or something to kind of make sure he's not thinking always about golf.
Any specific examples from the most recent win of things you said on the back nine? He already told us on our podcast. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I think he was talking to DJ maybe, and DJ was like, dude, if you can't find who the killer is on the leaderboard, you're the killer. And I just hit him in his chest on 15T, and I just said, hey, you're the killer. Let's go win this tournament. And I think it was just enough. He knew that, but I think it was just enough for him to, then he striped it down the middle, 9-iron from 180 to 10 feet and made it.
What's the best example of advice you've given that went very well for you guys? Either calling him off a shot, a read that you overruled on. What's a time where you just put your foot down and said, here's the advice and I'm sticking to this?
I would say this one sucks, but 18 a Riv, we had 132 downwind, maybe 5 miles an hour, pins in the left, and he's like, how do you feel about gap wedge? I go, no. I go, it's draw sandwich all day, every time. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, I'm positive. And he just striped this high draw sandwich that landed 5 feet, spun back. He didn't make the putt, but it was the best club, one of the best clubs, just because we wanted to win so bad on 18. And to stuff it 3 or 4 feet on 18 at Riv with sand wedge, it's pretty hard to do. So that was probably the best call. Fortunately, it didn't work out.
What's the worst advice you've ever given him? Bad number or something that did not work out very well that you still think about?
Just now. 20 minutes ago when we finished, he's in the left trees and he's going good, he's playing good, and he's trying to hit a high draw almost through the trees. In my head, I'm just like, this just doesn't seem right. And it wasn't right. Hit the tree, knocked down. Unfortunately, we pitched out, didn't make a good score. I'm pretty pissed off at myself for that one.
Do you feel it is, how do you balance between when your player knows or thinks he's very capable to hit a shot, they are capable of freakish things from time to time or frequently. How do you balance man, this one's really not adding up for me, and when to speak up?
I kind of always, my thing to him when he's, somewhere maybe tough or we got, we're in the trees or we're 290 away, I said, can you get up and down? If you think you can get up and down from right here, then it's worth it. But if you're just trying to hit it up there by the green, pitch out. That's kind of the best thing I could say to him.
You are, if I may say, a great player in your own right. How much does that factor in? There's caddies that don't even play golf out here, and there's caddies that are really good players. When and does that make a difference, and does it make a difference?
That's hard to know because there's a lot of great caddies out here that don't play golf, and there's a lot of great caddies out here that play a lot of golf. I think it only helps me. I play with Max on my off weeks. We talk about things we need to work on. I help him there. I think it really helps in certain situations, knowing, off a downslope, the ball's going to shoot right and the wind's out of the left. So stuff like that, I think it definitely helps. But there's a lot of great caddies who are really good at managing personalities too, and that's another key to great caddying.
Has Max's recent success had you or the two of you thinking differently about what career plans are, realistic career goals are, do you think?
No, because I always saw it. I always told him in 2019 when I started working for him again in Palm Springs, said, dude, you're a top 20 player in the world right now, and he was probably 250. I go, I've been in every big event. I've seen every great player. You hit it just as good as them. Just took a little longer. I mean, in 19 he ended up winning, but I've always believed it. I don't think it changes. I think he can win a major. I think he can make a team. He hasn't voiced that, but I think he definitely believes the same.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck with that. Thanks for coming by, and
Thanks.
We'll look forward to seeing the next one.
Appreciate
Cheers.
it.